and welcome back to another video. Today we are playing the 4-color control deck that's been kind of making some waves. It's definitely been a spicy list whenever you put briefcase into it. We've seen this activate a couple of times. It's felt really nice. It's been a mana source that we might need whenever we're playing a Triome to be able to hold up our Make Disappears or even play a Memory Deluge early, which has been really nice, along with the Wandering Emperor, the 4-mana spells pretty much for briefcase. Other than that, it providing a way to draw 3 cards in the late game, that extra refill that we generally need, is kind of filling the same role as Atraxa, weirdly enough. So it feels really good. Other than that, we're going to get into the games. I do a breakdown pretty much of every card that I experienced. I have probably a hot take on the Chrome Shark in of itself at the end of the video. So if you want to watch that, please stay tuned. Other than that, we have some interesting games. We play against some jank a little bit. It gets a little bit closer than comfort. Other than that, I hope you all enjoy, and we'll just hop into them now. Okie dokie. This hand seems pretty playable. We got prime number 1 and briefcase on 2. Dark potentially along the line, along with lay down the arms. Blue black. Esper could just straight up be control. I think now we just hold up, Make Disappear if they play Jays. Be Reanimator now. It looks like just hard control. Our favorite indeed. Play the briefcase. 3 sticks. Nothing held it up. For the throat could be in line for our 1/1. But we're probably not too worried about the 23 turn clock, I would imagine. To wait one more turn before slamming the Chrome Shark. For 1 mana short of being able to play it, hold up to Make Disappear. We played a tap land last turn, so the 3 mana counter spell that Exiles wasn't viable. I think we let this go. This little token here is going to be really good with our Make Disappear. So I'd rather hold it up instead. Their mana looks like. Is that an Illusionorn? Oh, Sanctuary Warden. Go through it. Let this happen. Now they have about as much mana up as they want. Or Kaplan. I could definitely see an argument of playing this Mountain and just holding that to cycle. But if we're playing against control, we want to be able to hold up as much as we can. Wandering Emperor is a decision to play right now. They did it after blockers were declared, so a slight mistake there. Obviously not what they had in mind. We're holding up a Phantom Blue right now for the briefcase. Well, that can't be countered anyway. Do we make an Incubate token just because we want to? Probably not worth it. It only makes it 2/2, so let that go through. Entirely sure what this comes of this turn. Pass it back. And we're holding this around for our Make Disappear to be better. Also on that after. Feel like maybe something they should have done before. Sunfall. Pretty much ensure that we're gonna get this counter off. This Sunfall to resolve. Could have another. They could have a Make Disappear of their own, but I'd rather just get Make Disappeared than them being able to have another threat in play while also countering that. That's kind of big. We have an answer for this. Make it 2 now. Man. So go for the throw actually cannot answer this because it's a token. Let's see. If they have a removal, it actually will hold up here. So lay down arms this. It sticks. It snaps resolve. So binding. Normally the incentive is to binding these, but we'll actually take the token. Make our incubate. Can't exile anyway, and most likely they're going to want to plus it. Also, no hesitation there tells us that they don't have an instant speed way to draw a card, so we should just get that out of the way now. Warden. Well, can't let that resolve because that's a card draw. We have the colors for this. We're missing a black mana, I think. Kind of tough. We play a couple of trams to get that resolved. Or we play other briefcases that can do it. Just use it as a trick for now. I could, of course, get another land to play, but most likely holding anything up is not likely. Make another token, and they play a Memory Deluge. Well, if we draw exactly, make this appear, that'd be good. Although, we're most likely not going to cast it anyway. We find a black mana that we've been looking for. Atraxa is now online. Play that out. We'll slam this. The pawn's there, but that could be Field of Ruin. There's a couple of things it could be. Go grab his planes. We'll probably end up cycling this. We only need 1 black mana, but hopefully they don't identify that with their Field of Ruin. On there to give it first strike. Totally makes sense. I really don't want to fire off this cycle, just in case they do call my bluff on this black mana. But now I definitely will, because waiting a whole nother turn anyway isn't going to matter that much, I think. And I don't think they have... Okay, so they don't fire it off. We get through. Discard this land. Bring back a briefcase. That's a tap in order for us to draw cards. Quite the value, quite a little value in and of itself. It has sacrifice to add because it is a treasure. We won't have enough to pay for a make this appear anyway, so let's slam the Atraxa. A little bit of a hesitation there. Yep, there's the make this appear. Fine. That all resolves. I'm gonna decline on paying any of it. Now they don't have the mana for that make this appear. I keep saying make this appear, but the Memory Deluge. Be able to set this down to 1. Go ahead and play that land out. Maybe they did. For whatever reason, I didn't see these lands that were untapped. I only saw like this land's untapped. Yeah, tough decision on their end. First Memory Deluge, they snapped off the picks, but there they did not. Assume land was the draw for turn. I can't imagine there's a whole lot of scenarios in which they grab a land with their Memory Deluge. Yeah, I identified it this time around and noticed that we needed the black mana. But we do have a swamp. Not as devastating as it might seem at first. The briefcase online as we untap, as we see them void rend it now. They understand that us drawing 3 cards is way too important. They have 6 mana. These, which for whatever reason my brain keeps registering them as tapped, are not tapped actually. The flip. I'll take out the Emperor if available. Pretty clean. Play this. They don't know about herd migration. I'm not playing into a board wipe, so I'm just gonna call it there. We have a big enough threats in play so far. And as we call, a board wipe follows up after. They'll get some stops here because of this being able to be incubated. We're just gonna slam this now. We have enough mana for make disappear. Still think the hesitation is from this, nothing else. Another memory deluge. And we see I get transformed. I don't think they're transforming that if they have a board wipe, but I think the nice might be them have ripping it, or it's another land. Well, this is my mana. I'm gonna fire off the memory deluge. If they counter this, counter it with the make disappear, that's fine. They get the value that they want. I'll lay down arms this. I'm not gonna give them a free block if I don't have to. We want to close the game out, and they're at 30, so we have to pick up the pace. And this being a 2-turn clock, pretty sick. If I'm mending, no longer a turn 2 clock. Now a little bit more. There's definitely enough to get the job done, and we definitely have a backup memory deluge. And flashing that back, I'm gonna fire this off. I'm gonna let them keep. I'll let them keep looking, but I'm not gonna let them do it entirely for free. I could take the Chrome Host Shark, because this is a really good follow-up play. If they find a board wipe here, because they definitely can find a Sunfall, but if they do, we picked up to make disappear. In the memory deluge. And they hit the Sunfall, and they have exactly enough to pay for this, but we get the kick, so. Game's not over, and we have 12 damage. Turn 2 clock. 2-turn clock, not turn 2, but. Done there, and we go ahead and pass and act as though we have a ton of interaction up. Land. Memory deluge, the last hope. Definitely could find more draw. Another board wipe. Second memory deluge. I would say that means we're scot-free. We have 9 damage in hand. If what I mean by 9 damage, because it's 12. If they found like a go for the throat to remove one, it's still 9 damage, so we're still there. And Faithful Mending's not enough because they would only go to 9. Let's do it first. We can get our black mana established now. Then play the briefcase. Not written. Getting this set up early is before we actually, with an Atraxa, but before we did not have the scenario in which we were able to play Atraxa unless we found a mana source. Use Courier's briefcase though. We might have, as of right now, a little smidgen of foreshadowing here as of what they might be playing based on this land drop. Okay, we're back. Ambitious Farmhand. This could just be mono white, and the red is for Arch, the angel that has double kicker, the black red kicker for 2. It's just fine with me. Generally, we can kind of get over top of this. I'll play this Jetmir Garden, get it established into play. I'll go ahead and attack now. Make my brain go burr. Here's the black mana we talked about from them. That's a red-black land. It doesn't tell me. Okay. Not entirely sure what we're playing against anymore. I haven't seen Knob Nix in forever, but either way, very cool. Lose 3 life unless they discard a card. If you control a demon or a devil, you gain 2 life. Resolve. I'm declining. I'll take 2 here. Assume we're able to cycle. We'll go back up to 19. I have Esper. I have like all the colors, right? So let's just grab a blue. I mean, they'll trade this off, I think. I don't think there's a world where they keep that if I'm attacking their Obnix. See. I didn't think so. But hey, if they were going to allow me to trade off their Obnix, then I'll take that all day. Play draw 7 and lose 7 life. We're pretty far from that, however. Decline. Fine. One of the hardest things for control to deal with, indeed, is planeswalkers, and that's what we're finding ourselves having trouble with currently. Although Chrome Shark might be an answer that we've been looking for. Go for the throat's pretty tough, so let us in this spot. Let us make 4 of these. Cut down. Make this appear when they got us there if we played the Chrome OC chart. That's all they had there for that removal. Urza assembles the Titans. Eh? Get back up here. I'm gonna need a read. Try 4. You may reveal the top card of your library. If it's a planeswalker card and reveal this way, put it in your hand. You may put a planeswalker card, man, 5, 6 or less from your hand onto the battlefield. I'm seeing if they reveal. They reveal Wandering Emperor. Okay. You may activate the loyalty ability of planeswalker control twice this turn rather than only once. Okay. Now they have a decision to make because they plus -2. They make one of those. Okay. That's better for me. Yeesh. Yeah. I will never discard. How dare you? I like that, I think. Have vigilance, so they're really good at blocking this Emperor right now. They blocked there. That makes sense. I'm gonna try to kill it. I'm gonna try to protect it. We have a land drop here to have this make this sphere available, although this Wandering Emperor is going to get to come in for free, if that is indeed what they're playing. It's a Vraska, however. Ah, I see. The Vraska. Land. What do we find here? Can we get just a Cold Steel Farewell, and I can just make this appear? That'd be sweet. Nothing feels better than that. That's unmatched. That feels so good. Let's see a draw here. Proliferate. They could proliferate that. They do, so they get to activate this again. Another counter on here, then they make a 1/1. They wanted to. Turn that into an artifact, so be it. So, not entirely sure about that. But I like to discard. My answer is still to decline. I'm not sure about that. Oh, they haven't activated it yet. Hmm. No. Does it have to be the Omnix? I feel like I need to get this Vraska off the board. I don't think I'm out of pocket for that one. We won't care too much about the Omnix after this combat, considering this is the play here. Could fall into another farewell. Very possible that happens. Pick up a lay down arms, pick up an emperor, pick up a plane so we can actually play it this turn. That's 5. We don't have to worry about anything like corrupt. We're out of range of the Archangel. I don't know what I could see killing us here. I might have laid down arms my 2/2 to gain 2 life if I was going to lose the card to max hand size anyway. There's a Faithful Absence. Sure. We will be discarding this time around. Here comes another Urza. Does this have read ahead? It does. Okay. They scry 4 and they miss. That was a really cool deck that they were playing though. I've not seen Urza's symbol, I think, a single time. I might have read the spoiler like when it was coming out, but I had not seen it before, and we were definitely in danger there. You go first. We're gonna hold up make this here if we need to. I think we have Binding online. No, we don't have a black mana. We can briefcase. We have a lot of choices here. It'll kind of depend on whatever our opponent is doing. But having these mountains. Yep. There's a red. There's the Squirrel. This might have been what I was thinking we were playing against earlier. Could be the Boris aggro deck. Instead of Mardu Planeswalkers. Is all I can imagine that they were playing. I might have known what this card was if it was the normal art. It is to do whenever it is creature deals combat damage to a player. You may sacrifice. If you do, discard your hand and draw 3 cards. So they're not gonna do that anytime soon, I imagine. I'm gonna go ahead and establish this because I'm still holding up Make This Appear as sneakily as it is. My favorite way to hold it up with like a treasure. What? I'm in the spice territory now. From red and from green. I'm not too worried about that, I think. Yeah. Sure, I don't think we're gonna see them wheel this. I don't really want to let my briefcase go to just leyline binding this. Rather do it later, like here. But I also rather have leyline binding for something further down the road where lay down arms can potentially find itself being worse. So we'll just tell it to lay down its arms and we'll attack. And have it Make This Appear. Yeah, equip for 1, so we'll get rid of that, and they concede. Okay, I'm not sure if I concede there if I'm them, but I don't blame them. Sometimes playing against counter spells can be slightly annoying. I don't know if we can actually keep this. Will the Make This Appear be enough for us to find some other cards? We're on to play, so I don't really want to maul. We'll lead off with the Esperland. Here's a recruitment officer. We're definitely going to find ourselves in a little bit of danger here. We need to hold up his Make This Appear. Our migration is turned off in this one spot, so I probably leaned off of the Spar's headquarters would have made a little more sense. I came through scot-free, so I thought the gates were open, but they are not. I think we need to play. No, we need. Now we need to play Spars because it also has. They're only green. Well, actually, we should have played this one. This actually is more beneficial for us. Go ahead and pick that up along the way as well. The lay down arms, we're probably gonna have to be keeping a hold of that one for a while. We don't want to waste it on this recruitment officer, knowing what they've been curving into. Whenever you cast a creature spell, make a 1/1 white human. Yep. There's King Daryl. Sometimes it's played in like a Convoke deck. Not entirely sure what we're up against, like definitively, what their payoffs are, or if it's just universally like just good value. Which tells me like Atraxa is going to be pretty good. We might run into an ossification or two along the way, but I'm not entirely sure. We have blue, black. We have about all the colors, so I think I just want to get another basic plains here. Make sure our laydown arms can reach just about everything that we need it to. Get rid of Daryl because it can be sacrificed to give him hexproof and indestructible. So I think our only board wipes are indeed. I didn't play this because I thought about cycling it, but that might just be a mistake. It could name this actually, which is kind of weird. But if they do, I'll just play it as a land. Yeah, let's make my Atraxa some more mana. That makes sense to me. I think drawing to maximize my chances of hitting a Sunfall is better. Or like here, we wouldn't actually have gotten this Leyline Binding, so. See this, when you cast creature spell, make a 1/1. If they go to combat here, we're going to try to eat up this Peacekeeper. Now an untapped source and the Atraxa is coming down. Not an untapped source, but if they don't play another Peacekeeper, one is coming down. And then hopefully we can find ourselves a white mana and another Leyline Binding. Or even a lay down arms. I don't know if Atraxa is going to be quite enough to clean up this board. I think what our last card in hand is. Oh. Draw other Atraxas. Not quite what we wanted. Find ourselves at 14 here. Well, that's what we wanted, but we find a basic island. Oh, I see it, opponent. You got the removal. The hesitation here is the Guardian wanting to be pitched. Or Brutal Cathar. Brutal Cathar is good enough too. Might have been what they were saving for. Or is it a land draw? Going math, I think. We're theoretically at 13. They have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I can block 3 of it. We're dead, right? Oh wait, they just have training. Yeah, we're dead. I forgot they could get made with training. So I think they were just like triple counting. I mean, theory would pick up this. It's all the same. I'm pretty sure we're dead. Or they still one short? Oh yeah, we're dead. We -1. The 2 training, we would have lived in 1, but that's tough. It's tough. If we find a plains there, I think we pull that game out because we're able to lay down arms. We're able to lay down arms this, or even Leyline Binding this, and then they lose a ton of power, and then the life gain we gain there, plus we get to hit them and everything. But they have a ton of outs. They have Brutal Cathar in their deck. They have like another Lord there would have been good enough. There was a lot of outs for them. I think this is a keep. We'll lead off with Jetmir's Garden, because if we play an island after and we draw a Leyline Binding, that'll fill out 4 colors of our domain. And there's a binding. Island makes us 2 mana, where if I had to play this in the island, it'd be 3, and this would be uncastable. Tenacious, who under the dogs. Although, if Tenacious Underdog is here, I'm cool with actually playing as far as Headquarter and just getting rid of this permanently. My problem playing this version of like Control, we don't really play a lot of countering spells. We only play Make Disappear, but this version of Control actually will struggle with Graveyard Trespasser. We don't have a card like Void Rend to pick it up cleanly. If you don't know what Void Rend does, it's destroy target permanent and it's uncounterable. Ward, if you don't pay the cost, it tries to counter the spell that you cast. So Void Rend's actually able to just remove creatures from play that have ward or permanents that have ward without paying the ward cost. Or here, if we want to leyline binding it, we have to pay that. We're gonna pass. If they don't do anything else, I assume their hand is just full of removal. Or a Phyrexian Arena, a good one. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leyline binding that. I really wanted to play the Emperor to make the 2/2, so whenever I play this invasion, I can start working it down. But I think we can take a turn off to make sure that I don't mess around too much. I also could have played this for 3 there, but I'm assuming they didn't do anything on turns 3 and 4, or 3, and then they finally jammed it on 4. Probably maybe they found another one. There's a Liliana the Veil, so that's also a choice. Probably gonna plus make us discard. I'm willing to get rid of this Presagio, I think, or maybe get rid of second for pick first. I'll get rid of Emperor. Does it go for the throat? Make 2/2? This works. It works and it's good. Try. Alright. Get to put that to 1, so they can only make us discard. Play Fiend's Tower. We'll be discarding the Besage if needed, and then we can make a ton of creatures, along with having a binding available here. Nothing. Makes sense. I have more cards in hand than them, so overcommitting with that Lily, taking the only other cards in your hand out, is not a good idea. Let's make another creature, and then let's cycle this for 3. I hit the 5. Keep the landline binding up. This keeps us having plenty of creatures around. I'm holding this to discard the Lily. Needed, and it'll be my 7th land drop if I rip Atraxa off the top. That's pretty good too. Cleans up my entire board. It just probably doesn't feel great. Oh yeah, we'll just do this. We'll make a 2/2. Passing. As we have to worry about cards like Vraska. I imagine it's going to be a plus and a proliferate and taking this out. We'll be hitting it with a leyline binding. We'll do that on end of turn. Lose 1 health. I could see that. They're trying to make, like, wonder if they're supposed to put a counter on the battle or not. They don't put a counter on it, so not what they're supposed to do, I think. Definitely supposed to make sure they pick that up. We'll remove their Vraska now. As far as Headquarter, we'll definitely be cycling that one. We need to find ourselves a memory to lose along the way here. If I go ahead and cycle this now, just in case I find a land drop. Yeah, sure. Sunfall. A good backup option if needed. Yeah, we do have a Vraska under here. Most of the time just a 1 of. I don't know if we have to really worry about playing around a second one. We might. Always possible. Vraska is a really cool card, so playing 2 of them is not unheard of. Here's the Trespasser that we talked about earlier. What are you going to eat? I don't have anything too important in there. Ah, the doggy's looking real cute. He's sad, little boy. Okay. Here comes Lily. Make a sack. We can always sunfall to move the graveyard trespasser. The player sacks a creature. Okay. Yep. Her migration is pretty cool. It dodges Gix command as well. It makes it where graveyard trespasser can't quite attack us. Actually, I want to play Besage You, so I have a white for my leyline binding. Cool with letting Sunfall go here. It's really not going to hurt me in this spot. Make another 2-2. Yeah, I kind of think it can deal with them. It's 2 or less, and then it makes you sack 1. I haven't played Shieldred yet. I might have spoken into existence, which would have been great. A cut down. That's a sad cut down for sure. Depending if they're gonna plus here, and it's gonna make me discard this, and then I'm not gonna be able to answer this graveyard trespasser. Do I just leyline binding it? Just let the Sunfall go, and then I'm able to pick up Lily, pick this up, and then hit them. I think that's fine. Because then I have to dedicate like 2 creatures to attack Lily if they want to be able to throw their graveyard trespasser in front of it. So that's a great draw. That's a refill for us. I said for somebody earlier that they didn't activate this. Yeah, I'll cast. So be it. 2+ here. Another briefcase. We'll discard both these. We'll play briefcase. We won't activate now just in case a Lily finds its way into play. We wanted to put it on this 1/1. That was our whole plan. Yeah. So we could have sacked that to draw 3 in case we hit a land drop, but if they do play a Lily, we want to have as minimum cards in hand as possible there. Even though they would probably have to sack anyway, and it'd be pretty much lethal. Alright, post-game wrap-up. The deck's fun. I'm actually happy to see Briefcase get some play. It's a very hard card to get to work, and I think it deserves a little more love than it gets, especially with a lot of decks being like 4 colors and 5 color decks. Like, Briefcase seems to be able to fit a lot of their spots really well. Makes a 1/1. It can kind of stall. In some cases, it works like if you would imagine how a Fading Hope would buy you a turn. Sometimes blocking with the Citizen performs the same thing. They don't have to use the mana, but it does roughly the same. Lay Down Arms has been good for a really long time. Not a whole lot to talk about that. Along with Make Disappear, the Restoration's also a really nice value card in here. This is like kind of filling the spot that you would generally have found Fable filling, but in this spot, not. And obviously, this is mainly a Bant deck, blue-white deck. This would probably be Fable if it's still legal. Briefcase, again, like we said, is cool. Memory to Lose is a one-of. Kind of sucks to me. I like Memory to Lose a lot. I'm pretty big and high on this card. I like Dig Through Time as well a lot, so maybe that's a little bit of bias here. For best of one and stuff, I just haven't been a fan of this card that often. I don't know. I just haven't found a spot, me personally, have playing games where I've ever had this card and it be like a priority to play. And that comes with best of one sometimes. Sometimes you won't find the value in a card for a really long time. Now, best of 3, this card could probably stomp out, do incredibly well. But if somebody has an argument for the card or has found an experience in what matchups it's really good in, please let me know. I can imagine Control it being good too. But like with Control decks already having to pretty much play all the board wipes, like the Incubations got to be good. It feels like a better late game card than anything, even though it's 3 mana. So for me, the decks and games I've played today, I would like this to go to 2 maybe, and Memory to Lose go up a spot. Same with Invasion. I thought Invasion felt really, really good. Like, I would prefer Invasions over the Shark. Me personally, I haven't played enough to make that decision. Other than that, Emperor, we all know this card's incredibly good as well. The flash speed on a Planeswalker, being able to exile, gain that life, be able to close out the game in of itself as well, and distribute 1/1 counters along your creatures, so they get to dodge things like cut downs, and maybe like if somebody tries to shock your creature, you can put a +1/+1 on it, so now the creature's in the way of like a Swift Spear, things like that as well. Sunfall as a 2 of, really nice. Maybe at some point you might want to go up on this as well. It's a little bit hard. Sometimes you run into a lot of aggro, so it's a little tough. Atraxa is a 3 of, is a nice spot. I think 4 is way too many. 2 might not be enough, as you need to find this card a lot of times to regain all your value back, gain all your hand stuff back. Her migration feels really good in the spot 2. Gains life, can be an in-game threat, and Leyline Binding being able to pick up anything that's a problem. And honestly, this top end is kind of what I was talking about a little bit more with this shark. Is that I feel like these are kind of enough to close out the game in a control deck, along with like maybe this being able to, out of nowhere, they wipe the board from what we've been doing previously with like a Wandering Emperor. This is pretty much enough to refill the board immediately instead of kind of having to take your time with this. But again, I'm not set in stone on that take. It's just kind of the take I've had today. Other than that, that's all I kind of have to say about the deck. I enjoyed it. Definitely went a lot better this time around than when I played it the other time, but it was all super late when I played it before, so I might have been just a little bit cranky. Other than that, I hope you all enjoyed the video and hope to see you around in the next one.